Okay, we're going to do some examples now. We're going to write the first 5 terms of this geometric sequence using our given information here. We are told that a sub 1 equals 160. So that's the very first term in our sequence. And then here is our recursive formula. A sub n plus 1 equals 1/2 a sub n. That means that 1/2 is our r. Okay, that's our rate. So I'm going to write that a sub 1 equals 160. Okay, so knowing that a sub 1 equals 160, I can do a sub 1 plus 1, okay, which I'm getting from this formula right here, equals 1/2 a sub n, which a sub n without the plus 1 is just a sub 1. And I know that a sub 1 is 160, so I can fill that in. Well, half of 160 is 80. So then I can do a sub 2 plus 1, which means 1/2 a sub 2, which is half of 80, which is 40. So then I can do a sub 3 plus 1 is half of a sub 3, which this is a sub 1, this is a sub 2, this is a sub 3. So half of 40 equals 20. I can do a sub 4 plus 1 is 1/2 a sub 4, which is half of 20, which is 10. So there's the first term, a sub 1, second term, a sub 2, third term, a sub 3, fourth term, a sub 4, fifth term, a sub 5. So there's the first 5 terms. And you guys are probably saying to yourself, surely Ms. Reynolds on the homework assignment, I don't have to write out all this information. And no, you don't. If you realize that the rate is 1/2, you can just do 160, half of that 80, half of that 40, half of that 20, half of that 10. And that's fine with me. Next example, a sub 1 equals 4, so we're starting at 4. And then a sub n equals -3 times a sub n minus 1. So -3 here is our rate. So I'm using the other formula, which means it just goes a sub 1, a sub 2, a sub 3, a sub 4, and a sub 5 each time. I already know that a sub 1 is 4. And if I plug into these other ones now, it's going to say -3, a sub, and I'm going to do n minus 1 here. So if I've got 2, then that's 2 minus 1, which gives me -3 times a sub 1. So -3 times 4, because a sub 1 is 4. That is -12. Okay, so then I've got -3. I've got that every time, right? A, and then 2 minus 1. So then this one will be 3 minus 1, and this one will be 4 minus 1, and this one will be 5 minus 1. And then I'm going to simplify all of those down into, they're all going to have -3s. This one's going to be a sub 2, a sub 3, and a sub 4. And now I just get to plug in each of those values every time. So -3 times a sub 2, well, a sub 2 is right here, -12. That is positive 36. -3 times a sub 3, well, a sub 3 is 36. So 3 times 36 is -108. And then I have -3 times a sub 4. A sub 4 is -108. So my a sub 4 is negative times negative is positive 324. So again, yes, the solution is to take the 4, which is the first term, times -3, times -3, times -3, times -3. Okay, I'm just showing you how the recursive formula works. Okay, here we're supposed to write the recursive equation for the following. So I need to know the R. Okay, I have to figure out what my R is. So how do I go from 3 to 12? Well, I can try times 4, right? Because 3 times 4 is 12. And does that work for the next one? Is 12 times 4 48? Yes, it is. So R here is 4. So if I'm going to write my recursive equation, I'm going to say A sub n equals, and the formula actually says A sub n minus 1 times R, so B times 4, but I like to write it with the 4 in the front. So A sub n equals 4 A sub n minus 1. I wouldn't count this wrong, though, if you put times 4 in the back. Okay, but don't use an X. We got to figure out how to do a dot, and I don't think formative has a dot in it. Okay, because if you throw an X in there, it kind of looks like another variable. That's why I prefer to write it with the number out front like this. All right, last example. We have to figure out what our R is. So what are we doing to get from 5 to 1 and 1 to 0.2 and etc.? Well, I think to get from 5 to 1, I could multiply times 1/5, okay? Because if I take 5 times 1 over 5, I can put this 5 over 1 and I get 5 over 5, which is 1 indeed, which is right there. So 1 times 1/5 gets me to 0.2 because 1/5 is 0.2. So times 1/5 again. So that all works just fine. That means my R is either 1/5, or you can say R is 0.2. It doesn't matter to me which one you use. It's the same thing. It's the exact same number. So as long as you're not using a rounded decimal, it's fine. So this will be A sub n equals either 1/5 times A sub n minus 1, or if you use 0.2, A sub n equals 0.2 times A sub n minus 1. Either one, it doesn't matter. I have no preference on which one you use, okay? If you're doing it in GoFormative, though, and it's a fraction and you're not getting the right answer, you might try the decimal equivalent or vice versa, okay? Or just ask me in class and I can look at them and see how it is. So I want you guys to try the homework. It's not very long. You should be able to probably get it done in class today. And so we'll move on and talk about the explicit formulas tomorrow.